in the microphone for now. All right.
All right.
Then it's your turn to read this.
So I'm going to read this part?
Nope, I'm going to read this, and then after I'm done with the truck.
Can you hear yourself in the microphone?
Yep.
You got to get close to it.
Yep. This is George. He lived with his friend, the man with the little height, who was a good little monkey and always very curious.
We're recording.
This morning, George was playing with his toys when he heard a funny noise outside his window. It sounded like a quack. George was curious what could be quacking under his window. It was a duck, of course. Then George heard another quack and another. Why, it was not just one duck. It was a mother duck and 5 small ducklings. Ducklings were something new to George. How funny they were. They watched. He watched the ducklings water after their mother. Where were they going? George was not curious for long. Soon he was watering after Mother Duck too. Now he could see where they were going. That's silly. Bob-a-dub-a-dubby-dub. The ducks waddled all the way to the park. George loved the park. Today he saw children flying kites and gardeners planting trees by the pond. Then George saw something he had never seen in the park before. It was a dump truck, and it was big and fast. In fact, George was not even as tall as one wheel. That's 2. Wheels are bigger than a small little monkey. George forgot all about the ducklings and stopped to look. It would be fun to see such a big truck, thought George. No one was inside it, and the window was wide open. George could not resist. But sitting in a big truck was not so fun for a little monkey after all. George could not even see out the window. He was too small. If only there was something to climb on. Would this make a good deck for a monkey? It did. Now George could see out the window. He saw grass and trees and a family eating a picnic. Suddenly, George heard a loud rumbling sound. Was the rumbling sound rumbling? Was it his stomach rumbling? He wondered. It had been a long time since breakfast, but the rumbling was not coming from George's stomach. It was coming from the back of the truck. It's about to tip in the pond, and they'll make an island for the ducks.
Don't give away the story.
Okay. It was coming from the back of the truck. George was scared. He climbed out of the way. Then, only like a monkey, he swung up to the top of the truck. Now he could take a look. He saw the truck was filled with dirt. George was excited. What could be better than a truck full of dirt? George jumped right in the middle of it, sitting on top of the dirt. George felt the truck what's it spell? Bed began to tilt. It tilted higher and higher. The dirt began to slide. It was a slither. It was sliding right into the pond, and George slid with it. George was having fun, but the pile on the pond got bigger and bigger and bigger, and soon the fun was gone. Guess then the gardeners came back from lunch and stood with their mouths wide open. They saw an empty dump truck the pile of dirt in the pond, and a very muddy monkey. They knew just what had happened, but before they could say a word, George had heard a familiar sound. What do you think he heard? He heard more quacking! The gardeners heard it too. Then they heard people laughing. Look, said a girl, the ducks have their own island. Indeed they did. The pile of dirt made an island in the pond. And Mother Duck and all her ducklings went waddling right on top. George was sorry he made such a mess, but the gardeners didn't seem to mind. We were planting more trees and flowers to make the park nice for people, said one of the gardeners. But you've made the park nice for ducks too. Later, a small crowd gathered at the pond. Would you like to help me feed the ducks? Edgar asked George. George was delighted. Soon everyone was enjoying the park more than ever before, including the ducks, who were the happiest of all in their new home. The end.
What's your name?
And Natalie.
And how old are you?
4.
What's today?
February.
February
11th.
2000.
11th.
2012.
2012.
All right.
Here is George and the dump truck.